My roommate was a professional sugar hunter. In the digital underbelly of exclusive forums, she cultivated an entire roster of boyfriends, all of them heirs to some tech fortune or real estate empire. She categorized them like stock options: A list, B list, and C list. The A-listers were the whales. They'd wire her 5-figure sums just for being sweet. The C-listers were the stingy ones. And by the end of every month, she'd conduct a brutal pruning. It was purge night. I sat at my desk, paralyzed by the mere thought of a social interaction, while she groaned from her bed. "Oh, I'm exhausted," she complained, her thumb flying across her screen as she blocked one contact after another. "If you're broke, don't pretend to be a trust fund baby. I don't have time to waste on losers who can't even cover a shopping spree." I bit my lip, my heart hammering against my ribs. I raised a trembling hand, my voice barely a whisper. "Sienna, those guys you're blocking, are you just throwing them away?" She glanced up, squinting. "Yeah, why? Could you give one to me? I have social anxiety. Not the, I'm a bit shy at parties kind, but the I have a panic attack if the barista looks me in the eye kind." It had reached a breaking point. My therapist told me that if I didn't make progress, I'd have to take a medical leave from the university. But I didn't have the money for the intensive, high-end cognitive behavioral programs. Start small, the doctor had suggested. Talk to people online, maybe even try a low-stakes digital romance. It's a safe space to practice being yourself. I was too terrified to even send a hi to a stranger on a dating app. That was why I'd gathered every ounce of courage to speak to Sienna Reed. She looked at me like I'd just grown a second head. "Wait, you actually have a voice? I thought you were a literal mute Daisy." The embarrassment burned my throat. I stared at my shoes. What? You want to try your hand at the game?" Sienna smirked, her eyes glinting with a predatory sort of amusement. "I guess I could spare one." She swiped through her secondary phone, then stopped. "He's on an encrypted messaging app one don't use much anymore. I'll give you the login. It's all yours." A surge of hope flared in my chest. Maybe she wasn't so bad after all. Thank you." I reached for the phone, but she pulled it back, her expression hardening. "Don't get ahead of yourself. It's not a gift. I spent weeks farming this contact. It's a premium lead, $500, and the account is yours for good." $500? I stammered, my hand dropping. "Nothing in this world is free, Daisy, especially not a billionaire's son." She leaned in, her voice dropping to a conspiratorial whisper. "Word on the street is this guy is the heir to the Montgomery estate. Old money, private jets, the works. If you play your cards right, you'll make that $500 back in a single good morning text. You want him or not?" The truth was, Sienna didn't actually know if he was a Montgomery. The guy had never replied to her messages, never posted on his private feed, and certainly never sent her a cent. She'd been scammed by whatever broker sold her the contact info. I didn't care about the money though. I wasn't looking for a payday. I was looking for a ghost to talk to. I hesitated, then nodded. "Okay." Sienna's eyes lit up. She flipped her phone around to show her Venmo QR code. "Smart girl, Daisy Miller. You won't regret it." After the transfer went through, I logged into the account and changed the recovery info. As I did, I caught Sienna watching me. She looked surprised. "I never noticed before," she muttered, as I climbed into my bunk bed and pulled the curtains shut. "You're actually kind of a knockout when you aren't hiding behind that hair." Behind the safety of my bed curtains, the world felt manageable. I stared at the new profile. The avatar was a minimalist, cold shot of a mountain peak. The name was just M. How do you even start? For someone like me, a digital hello felt like a leap off a cliff. I took a deep breath, closed my eyes, and typed hi. I hit send and immediately tossed the phone to the foot of the bed. My heart racing, I waited and waited. By the time I fell asleep, there was no reply. Honestly, it was a relief. Talking to a living, breathing person was terrifying. Talking to a silent void that I could do. He became my digital diary, a tree hole where I could bury my thoughts. "Daisies. Good morning. They put onions in the breakfast burritos at the dining hall today. Gross. Daisies. I saw 2 squirrels fighting over a crust of bread today. The smaller one won." It felt like a win for the little guy. 3 months passed. I sent him snippets of my day, photos of the sunset, and my secret fears. I never expected a reply, so I grew bold. I practiced the flirtatious lines I'd read in novels, testing them out on the silence. "Daisies. Do you know what my favorite kind of star is?" "Daisies. The one I see when I think of you." Cheesy, right? The turning point came when I dropped my phone in the library. The screen shattered, and it took 3 days to get it repaired. When I finally logged back in, my breath hitched. There were 2 messages M sent the first night. I was gone at midnight. M. Losing patience already sent. The second night, my stomach did a somersault. He was alive. He was a real person. And he had noticed I was gone. Before I could figure out a reply, the phone began to vibrate in my hand. I panicked and hit decline so fast I almost dropped the phone again. Across the room, Sienna narrowed her eyes. "Daisy, was that your phone? I haven't heard that thing ring since the semester started. Nobody ever called me." I looked away, my face flushing. It was just an alarm. The phone vibrated again. Anna stood up, reaching for it. "Let me see. You've been acting weird lately." No, I pulled back, but she was faster, lunging for the device. In the scuffle, she knocked over her bowl of spicy ramen. The red broth splashed everywhere, soaking into the fabric of her cream-colored designer dress. "No," she shrieked, looking at the stain in horror. "This was $2,000, Daisy, you clumsy bitch. You're paying for this. I'm not just socially anxious. I'm a frustration crier." My throat tightened and my voice cracked with tears. You tried to grab it. It's not my fault." "The hell it isn't. If you had just given me the phone, this wouldn't have happened." Our other roommate, Mia, finally snapped. "Sienna, shut up. You were harassing her. Why would she show you her private messages?" Lexi chimed in from her desk. "Exactly. We saw it. You lunged at her. Don't try to bully her into paying for your vanity." Rihanna fumed. Realizing she was outnumbered, she grabbed her robe and stomped toward the bathroom. "Fine. You're all just jealous. I'm telling the RA about this." Once she was gone, I looked at Mia and Lexi, my eyes wet. "Thank you. Don't sweat it, Daisy. It's been a nightmare lately," Mia said. I climbed back into my bed, trembling. I looked at my phone and realized my worst nightmare had come true. In the struggle, I hadn't declined the second call. I had accidentally hit accept. "Done fighting yet?" a voice asked. It was a deep, cool baritone that sounded like expensive bourbon and late nights. I hung up immediately. "And what? Did you lose the fight? Are you crying now?" I I wanted to crawl into a hole and die. Daisies. No, you scared me. I shouldn't have called out of the blue. Busy the last 3 days. He actually cared. Daisies. No, my phone broke. I just got it back today. Why didn't you just buy a new one? Must be nice to be that rich. Daisies. The old one still works. There was a 5-minute silence while he apparently processed the concept of repairing things. Then transfer $10,000. Go get a new phone. The amount of zeros made me dizzy. My hands shook. Daisies. No, I can't take this. Truly, I'm fine. Don't overthink it. Your daily updates are entertaining. I got used to them. I don't like it when my routine is interrupted. By the phone. Keep the updates coming. I was stunned. Daisies. Oh, okay. Transfer $10,000 for the dress. Buy a $20,000 one. Tell your roommate to stay in her lane. This was insane. Was I being groomed? Was this some elaborate scam? But I had nothing to steal. Daisies. Why are you doing this? You have a nice voice. I heard a bit of it before you hung up. I have chronic insomnia. If you're willing to read me a story every night until I fall asleep, I'll put you on a $15,000 monthly retainer. Think of it as a job. My heart thudded. This wasn't just a way to pay for school. It was a way to practice speaking to a stranger who couldn't see me. Daisies. Okay, deal. That night, I sat cross-legged on my bed with my phone clutched in both hands. I had agreed to read a stranger to sleep. A stranger who had casually offered me $15,000 a month. My brain kept insisting there had to be a catch. Pick something. Daisies. Something what? A story. Daisies. You want me to read you a children's book? If that's what you want. I stared at the screen. Daisies. What if I choose something terrible? Then I'll suffer through it. I laughed before I could stop myself. It was tiny. Barely a sound. But I had laughed. You laughed. My smile vanished. Daisies. How did you know? Your breathing changed. I immediately pulled the phone away from my face. This man was terrifying. Relax. I'm not psychic. Daisies. That's exactly what a psychic would say. There was a pause. Fair. I opened an old fantasy novel and began reading. At first, every sentence came out stiff. My voice shook so badly I had to restart twice. Didn't interrupt. He didn't praise me. He didn't tell me to calm down. He simply listened. 20 minutes became 40. 40 became an hour. Eventually, his breathing changed. Slow. Even. Asleep. I stopped reading. Daisies, good night, I expected nothing. Instead, 3 dots appeared. Don't hang up. My heart jumped. Daisies, you're awake? Unfortunately. Daisies, then go back to sleep. Keep reading. So I did. And somewhere around 2 in the morning, I realized something strange. I wasn't scared anymore. The next morning, $15,000 appeared in my account. I nearly dropped my phone. Daisies. You actually paid me? I said I would. Daisies. You can't just send people $15,000. Apparently I can. Daisies. That's insane. You're welcome. I stared at the transfer. Then I did something that would have been impossible 3 months earlier. I called him. My finger hovered over the button for nearly a minute before I pressed it. He answered on the first ring. Morning, Daisies. My stomach flipped. Good morning. My voice sounded tiny, but it came out. He didn't say anything about it. Instead he asked, did you sleep? A little. Good. There was something warm about the way he said it. I started smiling. Then the dormitory door slammed open. Sienna stormed inside. Daisy. I nearly threw my phone. She marched toward me holding a printed bank statement. What the hell is this? I froze. Sienna slapped the paper onto my desk. You've been receiving money? I looked down. It wasn't my bank statement. It was a screenshot of the transfer. My transfer. The one I'd accidentally left visible on my laptop. Sienna's expression transformed. $15,000? Went silent on the other end. I swallowed. Sienna, it's not. Don't lie to me. She grabbed my wrist. Who is he? I pulled away. I don't have to tell you. Everyone in the room went quiet. Mia slowly turned around. Lexi lifted an eyebrow. Sienna stared at me as if she'd never seen me before. Then she laughed. Oh my god. She pointed at my phone. You actually did it. Did what? You took my lead. Her eyes lit up. And somehow you turned him into an ATM. M's voice came through the speaker. Who is that? Sienna's face changed. She heard him. And for some reason, the color drained from her cheeks. She leaned toward the phone. Wait. Her voice became strangely careful. Is this M? I looked at her. Yes. Sienna backed away. What did you say his name was? No. His real name. I don't know. Her eyes widened. Give me the phone. No. Daisy, give me the damn phone. No. That word came out louder than I expected. Everyone stared. I stared too. Sienna slowly lowered her hand. Then she smiled. It wasn't a friendly smile. You have no idea who you're talking to. M spoke again. Sienna Reed. She froze. His voice had changed. The warmth was gone. I've seen your profile. Sienna's face went pale. You've been monitoring me? No. A pause. I've been monitoring Daisy. My heart slammed against my ribs. Sienna looked at me. Then at the phone. Then she whispered. Daisy, hang up. I didn't. M continued. You're the person who sold her my contact information. Sienna's mouth fell open. How did you? I know exactly what you paid for it. The room became completely still. And I know the broker who sold it to you. Sienna's confidence disappeared. M's voice remained calm. You were scammed. She swallowed. What? The man you bought my contact from was not an authorized broker. Sienna's face turned white. You mean? You never had access to me. I felt a chill crawl up my spine. Sienna had spent months bragging about her exclusive billionaire roster. But the most expensive contact she'd ever purchased had never belonged to her. She had paid $500 for a door that had never been unlocked. M continued. And Daisy? Yes. You're the first person I've ever voluntarily given access to. Sienna stared at me. For once, she had absolutely nothing to say. Then M added casually. Also, I increased your retainer. My eyes widened. To what? 25,000. I nearly choked. Why? Because you made me laugh this morning. Sienna's jaw dropped. M paused. And because I have a proposition for you. My stomach tightened. What kind? I want to meet you. I stopped breathing. The room blurred around me. Meeting him. In person. The one thing I'd been avoiding since the beginning. M's voice softened. But you don't have to say yes. I looked at my trembling hands. 3 months ago, even sending him hi had nearly destroyed me. Now I was holding a phone, surrounded by 4 roommates, and talking to the most mysterious man I'd ever met. Maybe this was exactly what my therapist meant. Start small, then take one step farther. I swallowed. Okay. M went quiet. Okay. I'll meet you. Sienna suddenly grabbed the edge of my desk. Daisy, you have no idea what you're doing. I looked at her. For the first time, I didn't feel the urge to apologize. I know. Then I smiled. I'm going anyway. The meeting was scheduled for Saturday. By Friday night, Sienna had become unbearable. Don't wear anything cheap. Don't talk too much. Don't mention the money. And absolutely do not tell him you're inexperienced. I stared at her. I'm not asking you for advice. She scoffed. You wouldn't even have this opportunity without me. Actually, I would. She frowned. How? Because he never wanted you. That shut her up. Saturday morning, a black limousine arrived outside campus. Every head turned. My stomach twisted. Then the back door opened. A man stepped out. Tall, dark hair, expensive coat, sharp features. He looked nothing like the billionaire playboy I'd imagined. He looked tired. His eyes searched the crowd, then found me. He smiled. Daisies. I nearly forgot how to breathe. Hi. He walked over. You came. I said I would. I know. His gaze softened. You look nervous. I am. Good. I blinked. Good. It means you're still being honest with me. Then he held out his hand. I stared at it before slowly taking it. His palm was warm, and something inside me clicked. This wasn't some distant fantasy anymore. He was real. His name was actually Marcus Montgomery, the Montgomery heir, and he'd been hiding behind that single letter the entire time. We spent the afternoon together. No fancy restaurant. No shopping spree. He took me to a tiny bookstore, bought 3 books, then sat across from me in a coffee shop while I rambled about everything I'd been too afraid to say to anyone. I didn't even realize how much I talked until he laughed. You've been saving all those words for years, haven't you? I covered my face. Please don't remind me. I like hearing them. My cheeks burned. Then my phone rang. Sienna. I ignored it. She called again. And again. Finally, a message appeared. Sienna, we need to talk. It's about Marcus. I frowned. Marcus noticed. What happened? I showed him. His expression changed. Don't answer. Why? Because I already know what she's going to say. What? He leaned closer. She's going to tell you I have a fiancé. My stomach dropped. Do you? No. He pulled out his phone and turned the screen toward me. A photograph filled it. Sienna, standing beside the same broker she'd supposedly bought Marcus's contact from. My mouth fell open. She knows him. She does. Marcus's expression hardened. She didn't randomly receive my contact. He swiped. Another photo. Another. Sienna had been deliberately collecting wealthy men through a private network. But there was something worse. She wasn't looking for boyfriends, Marcus said. Then what was she doing? Gathering information. Banking details. Family connections. Travel schedules. Passwords. Private photographs. She wasn't a sugar hunter. She was running an information scheme. And I'd accidentally become her biggest target. My phone buzzed again. This time, the message wasn't from Sienna. It was from an unknown number. Unknown. Ask Marcus why his father died. I stared at it. Marcus saw the message. His face went completely still. Then he whispered. They found you. I looked up. Ooh, he stood. We're leaving. Outside the window, a black SUV had pulled up. A man stepped out. Then another. Marcus grabbed my hand. Stay behind me. For once, I wasn't frozen. I squeezed his hand back. Tell me what's happening. He looked at me. The people who killed my father just found out you're important to me. My blood ran cold. Then the SUV doors opened. And Sienna stepped out. She wasn't alone. She was standing beside Marcus's uncle, the acting chairman of Montgomery Holdings. He smiled at me. Daisy Miller. Marcus moved in front of me. His uncle's smile widened. Congratulations. He looked directly at me. You've just inherited a fortune you were never supposed to know existed. Marcus stared at his uncle. Explain. His uncle smiled. Your father left a private trust. Marcus's expression hardened. That trust was destroyed. That's what I wanted everyone to believe. He looked at me. The trust can only be accessed through the beneficiary named in your father's original documents. I pointed at myself. Me. Your mother was his personal attorney. Before she died, she transferred the beneficiary rights to you. I shook my head. I don't understand. Marcus suddenly grabbed my wrist. Because Daisy isn't her real name. My heart stopped. His uncle smiled. Exactly. I looked at Marcus. What are you talking about? He pulled up an old photograph. A little girl stood beside Marcus's father. Same eyes. Same face. Same distinctive birthmark beneath my ear. The caption read, Evelyn Montgomery missing age 6. I couldn't breathe. If Montgomery discovers the truth, eliminate her. My hands shook. Sienna had known from the beginning. She hadn't given me Marcus's contact because she pitied me. She'd used me to get close to him. I looked at her. You sold me for $500. She went pale. Then I smiled. You should have charged more. The police arrived minutes later. Sienna was arrested alongside Marcus's uncle and the broker. The investigation exploded across the news. Marcus's father hadn't died naturally. His own brother had arranged his death to seize control of the company. And I wasn't simply the missing heiress. I was the legal owner of a controlling trust worth billions. Sienna's entire roster collapsed overnight. Every account she'd built around wealthy men was exposed. Every fake identity. Every scheme. Every private photograph. Gone. As for me, I went back to university. But I didn't hide behind my hair anymore. I still got nervous. I still stuttered. I still panicked sometimes. The difference was that I stopped letting fear make every decision for me. Marcus visited every weekend. One evening, we sat together in the same tiny coffee shop where everything had changed. He slid his phone across the table. A message waited. You still owe me tonight story. I laughed. You know you don't need to pay me anymore. I know. Then why do you keep sending me money? He smiled. Because you still make me sleep better. I leaned closer. How much this time? Nothing. He paused. Unless you marry me. I nearly choked on my coffee. He laughed. And for the first time, I didn't run from the feeling in my chest. I reached across the table. Keep talking. Marcus smiled. Gladly. 3 months after Sienna's arrest, I thought the chaos was over. I was wrong. At 8:03 one morning, every news station reported the same headline. Missing Montgomery heiress accused of fraud. My photograph filled the screen. The report claimed I had fabricated my identity, manipulated Marcus, and stolen access to the Montgomery Trust. I stared at the television. That's impossible. Marcus stormed into the room. Someone leaked the trust documents. My stomach dropped. Who? He didn't answer. Then his phone rang. His face changed. Put it on speaker. A woman's voice came through. Sienna, you really thought prison would stop me? I froze. Marcus clenched his jaw. How did you get a phone? Your uncle wasn't the only person inside Montgomery Holdings. She laughed. I planted evidence before I was arrested. My heart pounded. What do you want? Everything. She demanded the trust, Marcus's shares, and a public confession that I was a fraud. Marcus immediately refused. Sienna's laughter stopped. Then I'll release the recording. What recording? The one where Daisy admits she isn't Evelyn Montgomery. My blood ran cold. There was a recording, but it had been edited. I knew exactly what she'd done. Marcus looked at me. Don't worry. I have a better idea. He took my hand. We'll expose her live. 2 hours later, we held a press conference. Every major network carried it. Sienna's edited recording played first. Then Marcus displayed the original. The difference was devastating. The missing portions revealed Sienna's threats, payments, and instructions from Marcus's uncle. Then the broker's recovered messages appeared. Then the security footage. Then Sienna's own voice ordering someone to destroy my orphanage records. The room erupted. Her entire story collapsed in under 10 minutes. But she had one final trick. She appeared on a live stream from a car. You think you've won? She smiled. I'm going to tell everyone the truth. She held up a photograph. This girl isn't Evelyn. Marcus went pale. The photograph showed my mother, standing beside a newborn baby, and beside her was another woman. I recognized her immediately. Sienna's mother. I whispered. That's why she found me. Marcus looked at me. What? I pointed at the screen. Her mother helped hide me. The live stream suddenly cut out. Police traced the signal. They found Sienna at the airport. She was arrested before she could leave the country. Her mother was arrested the same night. The final investigation revealed everything. My mother had discovered Marcus's uncle's crimes and secretly hid me to keep me alive. Sienna's mother had helped him steal my identity. For 20 years, everyone believed I was a nobody, but they had accidentally created the worst possible person to underestimate me. A month later, I stood in front of the university administration. The dean smiled nervously. Your medical leave has been approved. I shook my head. I don't need it. I walked into class. 30 students turned toward me. My heart raced. My hands trembled. I still hated being watched, but I took my seat anyway. My phone buzzed. Marcus, nervous? I smiled. Daisy's terrified. His reply came immediately. Marcus, good. I laughed. Daisy's, you stole my line. Marcus, then come steal a kiss later. I slipped the phone into my pocket, grinning. The girl who once couldn't say hello to a stranger had somehow survived billionaires, blackmail, murder conspiracies, and a professional sugar hunter. And somehow, through all of it, I had found my voice. Then the professor walked in. Miss Montgomery? I raised my hand. Yes. He smiled. Your brother is waiting outside. My smile disappeared. Marcus had no brother. I slowly stood, and when I reached the door, I found a stranger holding an old photograph. He looked exactly like Marcus's father. He smiled at me. Hello, Evelyn. I think it's time you learned why your mother really disappeared. The end.